Hi, this is Genesis with Genesis, the beginning of something beautiful. I wanted to come to you today and I want to talk about leading with your melanated foot. Today, I was just thinking about, in the system of white supremacy and under 3D, you can never be white enough, but to be too black, to be too melanated is a no-no. It's okay to have a non-black mindset and a white consciousness. But when you have a person that's leading and stepping in their melanated foot and they have a black mindset and a melanated consciousness, that's scary to people. So now with this shift in consciousness, you see people in 3D, they were in the age of belief. They were in the age of the Pisces, and we're going into the age of the great reveal in 5D and the age of the Aquarius. Now you're seeing, because black people are trending to 3D, they see a benefit in being black. So you have all these different entities, I'll say, trying to pass themselves off as us, trying to represent us when they don't even look anything like us, when they're not even from the same bloodline or same lineage as some of these bloodlines that dominate in melanated energy. Excuse me, like I said, the insectilian in 3D was dominating that system. That insectilian is an ambiguous being. The Andromeda insectilian, for instance, is more of a non-ambiguous being. It's a melanated being. So we lead with our melanated foot. We dominate with our melanated foot. Melanin feminine dominant energy. You're seeing a system in 3D that was anti-female, anti-black, anti-children, anti-nuclear family, anti-love, pro-fear, pro-ho, pro-self, pro-narcissism. So now they see a benefit. It was the age of belief. So in the age of belief, you believe what you want to believe. So it's 3D. And it's a curse upon them because they've cursed the black person in 3D, but yet they want to be us. Is because they were able in 3D to dominate our resources on our indigenous land here in America, to dominate everything in 3D by using the lower fourth the lower fourth dimensional realm to control the third. So, it's like they've overstepped their boundaries, as narcissists do. I've taken your resources, I've taken your men, which we can I'm gonna explain that shit, how extraterrestrialism plays out in that shit. I'm taking, your life, you know, and I might as well just take your blackness. I might as well just be you, bitch. So it's ridiculous. Um, One thing I wanted to talk about, the importance of having a melanated mindset and a black consciousness. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, um, it's just something. So, you had a situation, when I talk about, everybody's gotten a whiff of Beyonce's mother Tina and her documentary, and the tone deafness of it all. You know, it's one thing about the entertainment industry, they're not fooling us anymore with the hocus pocus. The entertainment industry it pushes the MK Ultra programming. It pushes the narcissism, the racism. It pushes the entertainment industry pushes, they're manipulators, they're con artists. And they have a hatred for the divine. They have a deep-seated hatred for the life force. I've worked around and in the entertainment industry, and you see it, the hatred for the black dark skinned woman. The how they've capitalized, how our as Kanye said he gave Kim the culture, and he has the right to take it back. Well, who birthed the culture? Donda did, not you. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, they were I was looking at some of the document. I was looking at like an interview about the documentary. I think it was Gail King was interviewing Beyonce's mother. No, it was another lady. this time interviewing Beyonce's mother, and this black guy was like, "Well, you know, everybody else is telling our story. We want to be able to tell our story." The black woman was on this planet 4 million years before the black man, creating parthenogenesis before we manifested him onto this planet. If anybody can tell the story of a nation, of the melanated people, it's the black woman, the life force and capstone of creation of this fucking planet. That's like, who are you to tell us that we can't tell the story? Yes, we can. That's like your child telling you, well, you can't tell my story. You don't know me. You don't know where I came from. Tell your story. I created your story. I conceived your story. And it's something how they want to be black and delete the black person. They want to be black, but I can't be black. But you know what? We're going to let them do what they do, because they're going to be black, 13 lack, be lack. They're going to be black in 3D. And keep in mind, when before the shift happened and we were going through our journey, as we were walking through the terrors and the shadows of death in 3D before we got to fucking 5D, you know, it was taboo to be black. Are these same people, these same ambiguous people that we don't know who the fuck they are, where they came from, on television? These were the same people that have gotten in those positions because they don't look like me, because they don't resonate in the Andromedan bloodline. Now they're talking about they're black. You know, it's like they're trying to put on our whole identity. It's that archon movement. They don't create anything. You give them a blank sheet of paper, an archon can't write anything on it. But you put a couple of words on there and they can manipulate and move things around. And this is what these entities do. These soulless entities. This is what they do. And so, you know, they're trying to recreate and rearrange the narrative. And the statistics show, you know, black men are not stepping up to the plate on a collective level. They're very much so far behind. They're the most subjugated man on the planet. And they're okay with being the most subjugated man on the planet because they thought women like me were lower than them. So to sit here and say that the black woman cannot tell your story, certain extraterrestrial lineages and bloodlines of melanated black females, yes, we can tell your story because we were here on this planet before you and we're operating in 5th, 6th, 7th dimension. We saw you coming before you got here. So when you change your narrative and you change up and switch up your lies and your deceit and your bullshit, we can see it. And see, they mad because it was the age of belief. So they need you to believe that bullshit. If I believed that I was inferior, if I believed that I was nothing, I wouldn't resonate in so much of this energy. You know what I'm saying? I would be straightening my hair, bleaching my skin, and doing whatever I had to do to get this off of me. Because I'm trying to match a non-black mindset and a white consciousness. I'm trying to whitewash myself. I know who I am and where I come from. I know my bloodline. See, this is why it's so important. And I really stress this, to know your bloodline. Now, thank God for soul energy. Thank God for soul energy, because soul energy matters. It really does. But this is it's getting crazy, you know, because I see the lies. You know, I've had to deal with, you see the black man, it's like on the extraterrestrial wise, you know, okay, so a lot of these karmic males that they talk about, the tarot card readers talk about and stuff, I want to give a shout out to them. I love them. And they're helping people to heal and things like that is awesome. A lot of these tarot card readers talk about this divine masculine. Now, with the Andromedan bloodline, for instance, we were the first some of the first geneticists on this planet through the physical realm and the metaphysical realm. So through the physical realm of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, through the metaphysical realm of this region, for instance. So um we were the first geneticists. What I noticed is the Andromeda and Insectilian, for instance, they know how to make karmic bodies. Especially over there in Africa, they be making a whole bunch of karmic bodies because the energy is a little bit lower. So you can manifest more karmic bodies. Um, what happened, the Reptilian Federation got control of all karmics. So the karmic male, it comes from the divine, for instance. The soul, I talked about this before. The soul and the body separates. It comes from the divine, and it's an Andromeda insectilian male. He's always going to have something on his recessive side, the male, whether it's Anunnaki, Draco, Reptilian, something like that. So even though it was under the Reptilian Federation, it was being ran by the Reptilian Federation at one point, and it genetically it comes from the divine. That's why so many of the females like me, when we met, are karmic. It's a karmic twin of your twin flame. It's a genetic karmic twin of your twin flame. It's a 3D body, but it comes from the divine. So it's the same extraterrestrial being as you. So it has a pheromone, the way it looks and things like that. That was alluring to the Andromeda insectilian female. And it may even be alluring to other entities in 3D, because every entity wants to go up. You understand what I'm saying? Every entity wants to go up. And for 3D, that's a step up, because even though it comes from the divine, it comes from 5D, but it's a karmic. So it's accessible to the 3D karmics. And it does all the sexual deplorable bullshit and stuff, especially that Andromeda insectilian male with something on the recessive side, because the insectilian is a sexual being. It uses sex to advance itself. So a lot of us fell for that male, thinking that it was our twin flame. Genetically, it comes from the divine. It comes from your bloodline, but it was a karmic twin of your twin flame. It was not your twin flame, because soul energy matters. Now what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to get a soul. The benefit of a woman like me is 5th, 6th, 7th dimension. They were supposed to choose you over the karmic, and it was going to it was going to give them access to fucking dimensions. Not to no entertainment industry bullshit. Not to no fuck shit ass monetary system that's done. Not to a system of 3D, and the system is finito. And that's what they chose when they chose that fucking karmic. You know, all the pussy, all the sex and alcohol and cocaine and drugs you can get, but the shit is over with because you ain't got no money to get it, because you know hoes cost money. They not free. So when it picked the karmic, it's hot. Let me get my little fan. When it picked the karmic, the system was already done. The system was already over. You know what I'm saying? So to pick the karmic, you're picking 3D. A dimension that's shutting down, a dimension that's becoming a byword in it of itself, because there's so many entities that are soulless in 3D. They just walking around like zombies. To pick the divine, to pick the divine female, the divine feminine, he would have opened himself up to fucking dimensions. The black woman can give a black man a whole entire system, a whole entire dimension for him to run and dominate. So anyway, so yeah, they really they gave it, as the Bible say, you give your inheritance away for a hill of beans, didn't they? They gave their inheritance away for a real small hill of beans. Yeah, it was sad. So it is what it is. And they could have, even though they were under reptilian rule, well, at one point they got with us, and the reptilians, they got control of them. The Reptilian Federation got control of all karmics. But even though they had control of all karmics, they still could have tried. They needed to try, and they needed to do, one humanistic thing in their life for one time in their life. One non-racist thing, non-ism thing in their life. But they so fucking insecure. The divine masculine, they real fucking insecure. So by choosing the divine, it was a lot. The reason we fell for because it has like a similar pheromonic signature to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same extraterrestrial being. So a lot of us, we was he was dicking us down real good and things like that too. You know, and that made a difference because this, especially with these Andromeda insectilians, because we kind of freaky or whatever. So when you got with the karmic male, you may have thought it was your twin flame. It come from the divine because the Andromeda insectilians, they make karmics. The Andromedas make karmics. It comes from us, but it's still a karmic. But it does the same thing that the black man does when he rejects his melanin. The Andromeda insectilian, the males that are karmics, they always want to fit in the 3D. Why do you need to work hard at fitting in when you can just be? But they don't fit in with the reptilian genetic. They're not reptilian. They just have a reptilian mindset. They have a non-black mindset and a reptilian consciousness. Just like in 3D, you will see the black man, he got a non-black mindset and a white consciousness. You see what I'm saying? It plays out in these different things. So to sit up and say, we want to be able to tell our story, some of y'all not even adequate enough to tell your fucking story. You ain't even been here that long through the shift. And before then, to tell, like, really, all you gonna do is manipulate your story. It's a difference between telling your story and manipulating and lying to motherfuckers about your story. And so this shit is not working. I'm so glad to see people on social media seeing this shit for what it is. You got people mad right now because black is right now, 5D is online, and we got enough melanated people in America that are waking up. And that's resonating and operating in 5D. Another thing I noticed too, these reptilians over here, they wanted to take advantage of the fact that this is a metaphysical territory. So they played a game on Africa. They got them motherfuckers thinking that they better than the indigenous over here. And so, when you have an entity thinking that they better than somebody, you could play them. Or if you had an entity that they think they better than you, you could play them. You see what I'm saying? And so the white reptilian over here in America, for instance, racist white man, it was using the lower fourth dimension to control the third. So they want the white reptilian over here, it wanted control of the lighter skinned being. It wanted control of the Andromeda insectilian males. Because when they come from over there and they come here, they step out of the jurisdiction of matriarchy. And they unprotected. They wide open for attack. Don't even know it. And so the white reptilian wanted control of the Andromeda insectilian karmic males. And so it wanted control of their lighter beings. And the darker reptilian over here, it wanted control of the reptilians in Africa. Because keep in mind, this is metaphysical territory. So they want to take advantage of that. So that reptilian are flipping on you. So, I mean, in that sense, it is true. They gain control of those beings over there. And then, one thing about dimensions, the lower dimension supports the higher dimension. I don't care what they do. They cannot delete me. They cannot destroy me. I cannot be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? I'm an immortal being. The Andromedan bloodline, those are immortal beings. They can't wipe us out, turn us into a byword. They can't do it. They can't replace us. They're too low. But yeah, I noticed that the reptilian did that and then flipped it on them. Now their shit is off. Now they got control of the lower field reptilian, because it's like reptilian on reptilian crime. Just like you see black on black crime. I told you this shit play out in the world of extraterrestrialism. So the reptilian right now, they operating on reptilian and reptilian crime. Reptilian on reptilian crime. And what happened, I'm just so sick of them talking about some, and changing the narrative and black man this and black man that. You got the Andromeda insectilian male. He hates his own bloodline. He hates his own extraterrestrial lineage. And is unaware of it. Or both. Both, really. And excuse me. And he chose, he denied. It's like he chose something else over it. So as a collective. So it's just like, a black person hating their blackness, a black man hating his blackness. You know, they want it only when it's convenient or they see a benefit. With the Andromedan and Sectilian, they hate their Andromedan bloodline, and they wanted to fit in with the Reptilian because their inner being was that of a Reptilian because they were being ran by them. So they want their as a form of genetic advancement. They would like their genetics to match that of a reptilian. You see what I'm saying? But they getting fucked up right now because that reptilian flipping it on them, is using that against them because reptilians hate Andromedans, and they were rejected by 3D. They rejected 5D, and now the Andromedan karmic male is being rejected by 3D. So, yeah, it's a mess for them right now. That's why the divine masculine, he was trying to run his ass back, and now he mad. But it's a karmic. That is not your twin flame. It's a karmic. It's a karmic male, a karmic twin of your twin flame. You see what I'm saying? It's a karmic twin of your twin flame. So it was supposed to become a walk-in, and it was supposed to be a body available for it to become a walk-in, because you are now connecting with the soul of your twin flame, because it's two halves of a soul that are one. So it was supposed to become a walk-in, but what he had to do was what he's basically doing now, which is trying to choose, and they choose you over the karmic. They didn't even try. They didn't even try to get along with us, man. When we was with them, they didn't even try to do right. Like I said, for once in their little fucking life, they could have at least tried, and they would have been set, and it would have allowed a soul into that body, because it had to give permission for that soul to enter that body. But they didn't want to do it. They didn't even try to change. They didn't even try to do right. They didn't even try to make an effort. They should have been doing this then. So what happened, the souls, the bodies that were available for those souls of your twin flames were the Anunnaki. Okay? And karma is a bitch because the Anunnaki looks like a white being. So it has the body that your twin flame wish it could have with a soul. And this is why you do not want to reject the divine. When you reject the divine, you reject yourself. When you reject being black, being a black man, by rejecting the black woman, you reject your blackness, you reject yourself. When you reject the melanin of a melanated woman, you reject yourself. When you reject your extraterrestrial lineage, your Andromedan insectilian, by rejecting the Andromedan insectilian female like me, you reject yourself. You don't get a soul. You don't get to move on to fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. You laid up with some karmic you don't want to be with. The bitch got you so fucked up that you can't even leave. She got got you just locked up. You're miserable because that's what you signed up for when you signed up for 3D. Crumbs and bums. Okay, crumbs and bums. So that's what happened to them. And so they wish, I'm sure that the karmic male, masculine, they wish they had a soul. Well, you could have had a soul. You could have had everything that came with that soul. A soul, a twin flame, and everything. But they forfeited it. All they had to do was try. And they didn't want to. Now they doing everything they should have done because the karmic kicking their motherfucking ass. Because she worse than they are. Because a lot of them actually come from that reptilian bloodline. They genetically those beings. Or a Duro with reptilian on the recessive side or some bullshit. They'll never change. And they fucked. So now you got to wait for that soul to be able to come into that body when I'm ready. When the Andromedan insectilian is ready. But, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about my husband last night. And I called him and I was talking to him about this. And, I'm just so grateful because soul energy matters. And I'm so grateful that I could be on this planet at this time and enjoy this whole my whole experience, my whole experience as me being me in matriarchy 5D. And my twin flame is always there, no matter what body he reincarnates in, he's always there with me. And I told you that the Andromedan female, our soul and our body don't separate. So every time I reincarnate, I'm going to reincarnate into something like this and only get better and finer with time, lifetimes, only get more blacker, more melanated, resonate in this melanin energy, lead and dominate with my melanated foot, step into the room, melanated, black. I don't have to tell nobody. And that's what I love. I don't have to declare. I don't have to throw a black person out of a blackness so I could be black. This is not a trend. This is not, the thing to be. They didn't pay the cost. They created a whole system that went against us. Now they want to be black. And then they want to say the black people that's actually black ain't black. No, we're the melanated people. We're the melanated indigenous people of this region. We're the melanated people brought to you by fifth, sixth, seventh dimension metaphysical. And you're whatever the fuck that is. If you got to snatch somebody else out of their position so you can be you, you're not you. You're just trying to be me. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening. Once again, this is Genesis. Genesis, the beginning of something beautiful. I'm just a housewife with a hobby. I love talking about metaphysics. I love talking about spirituality. I like talking about science. I kind of stay out of the religious realms. I'm more of a spiritual type woman, as far as talking about those things. And I love talking about extraterrestrialism. I love talking about aliens and extraterrestrials. I say aliens, extraterrestrial. I love talking about my experiences and things like that. Because I don't think there was enough people. I mean, I see Fleur Brune a lot, and she's inspired me when it came to talking about extraterrestrials because I've had experiences, and I was kind of unsure to talk about them on YouTube, or on a public format or whatever. But it's not a lot of melanated people who talk about their extraterrestrial experiences, and I noticed that the extraterrestrial community, it comes across kind of racist. It comes across, colorist and things like that because that shit plays out once again in the world of extraterrestrials. And I just want to come to you with my story. I just wanted to come to you with my experiences and who I am and what I'm connected to. The beings in the inner earth that I'm connected to. I had told you that the Draco that I'm connected to in the inner earth. And I'm, of course, through my bloodline, I'm connected to the Andromedans in the Sirius star constellation. And those are the beings that I've came in contact with, that I've talked to. I get the downloads from this patch right here on my head, and that sometimes is a party conversation piece. This is a download station where I get a lot of my intel. I had an ancestor. I have an old ancestor from my past. They know that I'm receptive to the downloads and they give them to me. And I appreciate it. Thank you to that ancestor. Thank you. And this is, I guess you would say my crown root chakra, part of that. And that's where I get those downloads. I'm a kinetic being. Melanated people, we're chlorophyllic and kinetic. That's why they used to call us children of the sun. And so, I'm getting the information, and I just wanted to be able to, put it out there. And I think it just needs to be more people. We need a diversity in every way. We're here to bring balance. That's what I do. Melanin, feminine, dominant energy, Andromedan, insectilian, all the way. I'm here to bring balance. And I'm here to really let melanated people know, Black people know their connection to the ecosystems of the regions that they're in, how they operate and the way they're operating, and knowing who you are on a extraterrestrial level, on a bloodline level, and once again, not playing out the narrative of hating yourself. I'm so sick of seeing Black men hating themselves on so they've been programmed to do that through 3D. But I'm so sick of seeing them. It's so sad. It's frustrating. It saddens me to see people, the Black man hating himself on all his beautiful ways, like all the beauty of him. And it was really devastating for me to see him hate himself on an extraterrestrial level. That took it to a whole nother realm, literally. And because he denounced any dimensional advancement when he denounces himself on an extraterrestrial level and a bloodline level. He's saying, fuck it, I don't want to go up. I'll stay in 3D even if the shit is crumbling. I'll stay in 3D just to fuck and that's it. And I'll become a byword. But they didn't realize they were doing that. They were, I guess, it's just sad. I don't like seeing people destroy themselves and hate themselves. And so I love being me. You hear me? I love being the Black melanated salacious ebony queen that I am every day. Because in 5D, I used to be the queen of this region. If Donald Trump was a Black woman, he would have been me in 5D. And that's a fact. If they rewrote the Bible, they need to put me in it. So, and a lot of other indigenous melanated people that helped this world go round so everybody could come here in 3D and gain from the backs of Black indigenous people in America. But that shit is stopping. Because in Sectilians, we predicate our systems on top of existing systems. And so you might want to watch your stride with us, with my bloodline, because we here in 5D and we making it happen. So let them stay in 3D and say that they're Black there, and we'll be the most melanated, beautiful, magnificent people in 5D, and Black and wonderful as we can be. So at least we got our lane, they got their lane. We just, need to stay in separation. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for listening today. It's once again Genesis, the beginning of something beautiful. And that's it. I felt more comfortable today talking because the last tutorials, when you first start getting into it, you don't feel comfortable. Then when you start playing yourself back, you see what you could have done better, or you may have misspoken on something or said something. It was coming out your mind one way, but it came out your mouth another. And you're like, ooh, or, you fumbled on your words or something like that. So I'm just learning, like on camera, to just be more comfortable. And, I always come on here, wash my face and everything, and, give you a little brow and a gloss, something. I don't want to come be on here looking dry because I don't put no makeup on or nothing like that. I'm going to start maybe doing some camera ready makeup, some highlight and contour. So, but I just wanted to give y'all some all natural, some all natural. So, thank you. And you guys have a great day, a great morning. All right.